What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASAN broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic time, because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is the 30th of November. It's Saturday, November 30th, 2024. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of Hassan Piker in between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. And we got a lot going on in the world. Let me start by saying, first and foremost, last night I ended the broadcast, and what did I do? Absolutely nothing. Hung out with the family a little bit. And by that, I mean I just looked at TikToks. That's it. That's what I mean when I say I hung out with the family. Anyway, ended the broadcast, didn't do much. What did I watch? Oh, I started watching Penguin, but then I fell asleep. It seems really good. Colin Farrell is disgusting, which is, I think, good for the character, maybe. I don't know. He's like a real scumbag, you know? They lightly touch on class politics in Penguin, examples of people abusing populist sentiments. That's interesting. But anyway, I fell asleep. I woke up early, as always. You already fucking know. What did I do after waking up early? Tell you what I did. I went and I worked out, as always. You know, did some push, did some pull. I didn't ball. I worked out. I lifted. Did some push, did some pull. One of the things that I don't want to leak too much, but like there's a content creator that I am potentially supposed to do like a major collaboration with. But that collaboration requires me to be measured, like my size. A collaboration that I'm doing with a content creator requires me to be a certain size, be under a certain size. And the unfortunate problem is that I measured my shoulder to shoulder width earlier at the gym. It turns out shoulder to shoulder, I am 25 inches from the middle of my mid delt to the other side. I am 25 inches wide. For that reason, apparently I am 1 inch too wide to potentially do this collaboration, to do this thing. And I'm a little sad about it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see if I can shave off some inches from my fucking shoulder width. But yes, it is official. I am officially too brolic and too fucking wide to be able to fit into something that I will not tell you what it is yet. Also, is 25 inches wide? Is that like is that thick? I don't know. Bro, that's bone structure. You ain't shaving off anything without cannibalizing gains like crazy. So I would just have to like make my delts smaller, like it potentially to fit. And I don't want to do that. So we'll see. Oh, also I've been doing this shit too. I've been doing the Therabody LeBron leg warmers. It's supposed to help with your recovery. I don't know if it helps with my recovery. I feel like it doesn't, but I got scammed, bro. I didn't buy it. Mythological bought it for me 2 birthdays ago, or not the last birthday, but the one before that. And I never actually ended up using it. You are a crystal mommy. Wait, what? This isn't crystal mommy shit. It's compression. The fuck? Guys, it's like saying using a Theragun is crystal mommy shit. No, it's literally physical compression to push for blood flow. I don't think it works, to be fair. I'm just testing it out, but I don't think it's that good. But I think this is literally the same as like getting a massage. That's what it's supposed to be, which is not crystal mommy shit. Like massage therapy for rest and recovery is not crystal mommy shit. I just don't think that this is as good though. I use it at physical therapy after tearing my meniscus and breaking my leg. It helps a ton. I don't think it has helped me. They help for me, but it's only like as much as post-workout sauna or hot tub. Yeah, it's really interesting. But like technically this is basically a robot doing massage therapy to your legs. That's it. Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to a fucking chiropractor, chat. I also don't really fuck with cupping either. So I guess that's like also another version of the things that I don't fuck with that might be bracketed off in the crystal mommy shit category. You know what I'm saying? Pookie, why do you sound like RFK Jr.? I don't know. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Maybe I yelled too much. I actually wanted to show you guys another fun little story. This morning I went to my optometrist. I got these glasses as a gift a long time ago, and I was like, let me put some optics in it. And I had these other glasses that I'd bought recently as well. And I went and I got lenses put in them, got a new prescription, you know what I mean? Like, see if it's advanced, see if my sight is worsened. It's worsened a little bit, not that significantly. It's fine. That's like some unk shit, right? But the problem is the glasses are actually transition lenses. Because I was like, oh, these frames are kind of cool. They're interesting. And you know what? I'm going to get them. I'm going to get transition lenses on them. And I know that, like, for a lot of people, they hear transition lenses and they go, oh, you're a fucking boomer. I think it's better, in my opinion, to get transition lenses rather than, you know, constantly have to swap out back and forth between your sunglasses that you can't see out of and your regular optics. Transition lenses suck dick. They stay dark for too long. Yeah, they don't actually turn back with ease. That is for sure. But I don't really care. Anyway, but that's not the main point of the story. Here, let's watch this TikTok. Earlier today, I went and I got my new glasses. They were gifted. And I got transition lenses put on them so I can actually see and also be able to go outside and have it turn into sunglasses. You know, real boomer shit. And I walk into my optometrist's office to pick up these glasses, right? And I don't realize that I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, I lubricate my AR-15 with liberal cum. So I immediately had to dive into the bathroom of the optometrist's office and flip the shirt, basically wear it inside out so I could pick up these goddamn glasses. Just a fun little story for you guys. That's it. That's all I got. Happy Thanksgiving, I guess. Are transition lenses too boomer coded? Is that what it is? Am I cooked? Am I unk? Am I old? I got like white hair even. Yeah. I had to flip my t-shirt inside out of the sheer embarrassment of walking into my fucking optometrist's office with a t-shirt that I realized far too late had the lettering, lubricate my AR-15 with liberal cum. Shouts out to Ludwig for getting me the shirt. The glasses are giving zesty Dahmer. Okay. Well, luckily I don't have the long hair anymore. If I did, it would be way worse. I think people are being a little too mean, in my opinion, to the Pod Johns, to the Pod Save Boys, because they were nice enough to have me on and also give me an opportunity to say my piece to a shit ton of liberals who apparently had never really personally considered what this would look like a progressive vision for the party. I do think that we need to do that. You know, it's good for people like myself to be able to sneak into that discourse and present myself in a charitable manner. It's seemingly very popular. Like, the episode got to #1 at a certain point yesterday, and now it's like still at top 6 on Apple Podcasts. And not only is it good, but like, I've been getting a lot of normies reaching out to be like, I showed it to my mom. Like, I showed this episode to my mom and she thought it's a breath of fresh air. For a lot of people, this is the type of commentary that they never actually hear. It once again makes me feel as though if MSNBC or like mainstream media outlets were regularly churning out my position, that there would be a lot more mass mobilization in that direction. And that's precisely the reason why they don't do it. Because I think people understand what's hurting them. People understand where they hurt. And it makes me feel as though, you know, when someone is actively communicating what the problems are and demanding more from the Democratic Party, instead of just like constantly presenting themselves as like these docile, pro-compromise individuals, you know, they kind of go along with it because there's no other option for them. But when they hear someone say, no, this is the way to go, they like it. The Podjans have liberal institution brain. The Podjans are, okay, I need you guys to understand something, and this is not me like glazing them or defending them because they gave me an outlet or an opportunity to speak my truth. I'm just saying this with all sincerity. In DC, they look at the Podjans, who, you are right, do have institutional brain, but in DC, they look at the Podjans as like the most aggressive, progressive people that you have ever encountered. That's how fucking conservative the Democratic Party is. They literally look at the Pod Save America boys as like, you know, the activist base of the party. Like, does chat not know how the Podjans work for Obama? They're the young progressives from '08. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, for a lot of people in DC, they are just like unimaginably progressive. They're like, what are you saying? These are some of the most progressive people on the planet. Like, what do you mean we got to go further left than that? There is no further left than that. That's it. That's the maxed out further. That's the most leftist guy you can be. And this isn't about This isn't about like the Pajans are defending them. This is to tell you how unimaginably conservative the DC bubble is and how unimaginably conservative the Democratic Party is. Yeah, they were pushing to get rid of the filibuster in 2020 and politicians thought they were insane. They were like, that's crazy. That's not, you're out of your mind. Like you must be crazy. And it's kind of funny to think about because when I say, hey, you know, we have these regulatory agencies, maybe we should use those regulatory agencies against politicians as well that are routinely in violation of the same, you know, things that those agencies are supposed to look at, you know, direct conflict of interest and the like. And the most progressive, the most radically progressive people, according to the DC Democratic Party bubble, will look at me and go, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard. I mean, that's crazy. We're wielding the regulatory bodies like as a weapon. And I'm like, first of all, it's what they're supposed to do. I'm just demanding that they actually do it, like truly, you know, drain the swamp. And secondly, the Republicans do it in the opposite direction all the time. But yeah, ultimately, I'm very fortunate that they even let me on there. We'll do a little bit of Syria-WATCH. Obviously, the rebel groups that are, you know, anti-Assad, they fucking bouldered into Aleppo and took it pretty quickly, as a matter of fact, like a lot faster than anybody could have thought it would have happened. Felix had a funny take on it. He said, NATO is awesome. Turkey's essentially run an H-1B visa program for prospective ISIS and HTS members for over a decade. And the only thing they've actually gotten in trouble for during that time was buying S-400s. NATO is so sick. NATO is like, oh, dude, are you bombing Kurdish villages into fucking oblivion? Did you just cut off water access to like 1 million Kurds? That's fine. I don't care. That's okay. It's all good, baby. You do your thing. You know, you got security concerns. That's fine. You got security concerns. What are you going to do? You want these fucking Kurds to have water? Get the fuck out of here. People on Twitter are saying the rebels are ISIS. They are. Some of them are. The Syrian situation is like obviously a little bit more complex than something like Israel-Palestine, where the morality is very clear, at least, you know, maybe the ways in which there is a just and, you know, legitimate solution might be complex, but like the morality of the situation is clear. Whereas like in Syria, every side is bad. I mean, the one side that you can say is good is the Kurdish militias. But then even then, they've also kind of done some fucked up things as well at a certain point. So everybody's done some shit. But like the least bad part definitely would be the Kurdish militia forces, which is interesting because they are also backed by the CIA and they've gotten training by the CIA. But for the most part, those guys have been the anti-ISIS forces, and they were very successful in fighting against ISIS, and they've done a really good job doing that. But the issue here is Turkey is also, by way of NATO, the State Department's operatives here, and Turkey is literally fucking priming, funding, facilitating, arming, training the most militant Islamists in the fucking region, and they have successfully overtaken Aleppo at this point. And it's a very weird set of circumstances because you have the Assad government, okay, done a lot of fucked up shit. Very legitimate reasons as to why people would, you know, try to have a Arab Spring style democratic revolutionary resistance against the Assad regime. But then, of course, as is the case with many of these valid anger and resentment movements that spurn out organically, it's very quickly captured and overtaken by a lot of people who are personally invested in regime change for different reasons. It's really interesting because on the one hand, you have the Assad government, okay, not good guys. They're not. Okay, it's like, I would say very similar to Saddam. They're Ba'athist. They're not fundamentalist at all. Just make no mistake. There are differences here. They're still ruthless. They're still brutal. They're still cruel, but they're not like the fundies. And then on the other side, you have these like Sunni fundy groups, okay? The Salafist groups, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, former ISIS, former Al-Qaeda. You know, they're always cross-pollinating a little bit. And Turkey's backing those guys. Turkey's giving them weapons. Also on the other side, though, Turkey's doing this at the behest of the United States of America. Turkey's a NATO ally. They get to do that. But on the other side, Turkey's literally cooking the other State Department initiative, which is the YPJ and the Syrian Defense Forces that are like the Kurdish militia movements that have existed and gotten funding and training from the American State Department. So you literally have America's own assets fighting against America's other assets in the region. And it's a really fucked up situation. And then you have Hezbollah, which has defended the Assad regime and engaged with some of the Sunni militias, some of which are, you know, the ISIS and al-Nusra, like ISIS, the Salafist militias. You have the Russian government that is also backing the Assad regime as well. Every regional actor is you know, they're just trying to take a fucking piece of it. They're trying to move the needle in whichever way they can. Iran is also obviously by way of Hezbollah, and Iran directly is also helping Syria. If you want to try and understand it from like the perspective of Hamas, for example, during the initial Arab Spring uprisings, obviously Hamas itself is originally a Muslim Brotherhood movement. So they're like Sunni fundis as well. They're Sunni fundamentalists themselves. As an initial movement, it was a Muslim Brotherhood cutout. So they literally originally were like in support of the Syrian revolution against the Assad regime. So then they kind of had a period of not really fucking with the Syrian government. And the Syrian government definitely never forgot that and was like, yo, fuck you guys for siding with these guys. Like, some of these dudes are ISIS, you fucking piece of shit. And then they were like, well, we don't care. You're being a fucking, you know, stop being cruel, stop being brutal, even though they originally literally had their headquarters in Syria as well, Hamas, I mean. And then Hamas had to pack up shop and basically move from Syria to Qatar. But now their relationship has actually normalized between Syria, and also the relationship between Hamas and Syria has also normalized. The problem, however, is that it's not like Syria is offering a tremendous amount of funding or helping the Hamas militancy against Israel either, because they have their own shit going on. And ultimately, the worst part about it is that the worst thing that's going to happen is, of course, to the Syrian population, as always, they're just going to get fucking, you know, they're being tossed around from one brutal regime to fucking ISIS militants. It's insane. Weird situation overall. It's very chaotic. It's really fucked up. I do find it funny because like everybody always says I'm like an unconditional dick rider of the Turkish government and that I'm an Islamist fundamentalist, but the American State Department is on board with the Islamist fundamentalists in this situation, the fucking Al-Qaeda guys, and they are not directly funding and facilitating the actions of the Al-Qaeda guys, but they're doing it by way of Turkey. Turkey's a NATO country. Turkey also is bombing the Kurds, which many of my naysayers will say, Hassan, you love when Turkey bombs the Kurds. I don't. I actually very actively criticize that all the time. But also simultaneously, you know, I'm not exactly fond of the, like I said, the former ISIS guys and the former Al-Qaeda guys coming in and fucking shit up, and they're being backed and trained by Turkey. So I guess now all of my naysayers, now that the American State Department is on board, is going to say these guys are the moderate rebels. Actually, as a Kurd, I don't think America gives a shit about us. They just use Kurds against ISIS because they were not fundamental, that they were most ready to fight ISIS, and now just use them as a chip to reign in Turkey. Yeah, I've said this many, many times over. The rebels are almost entirely led by ex-ISIS members who have ethnically cleansed Kurds on multiple occasions, and Assad is incredibly cruel. Exactly. No good sides overall. None of the major players are doing good shit. Yeah. My new optometrist, his name is Bashar al-Assad. There it is. You know, I have an announcement. I've been talking quite a bit about my new optometrist. His name is Bashar al-Assad. Okay? The Lion of Damascus. Oh.